All right, so I just got a call from a neighbor about a leaking toilet. And this is a really old American Standard toilet. There's a lot of reasons why you wouldn't want to change something like this if you're not going to renovate the bathroom. This situation was actually pretty unique. They actually had the wall built around the back of the tank. So, you know, unless you're going to take on that kind of project to redo this entire thing, it's sometimes just easier to repair it. And one of the ways that I would always come prepared is to have some Fluidmaster products to be able to fix the leaking toilet. So you can actually hear the leaking toilet right now. So yeah, it's just constantly leaking. Most of the time, it's usually a flapper that is the cause of that. And that's why I'm going to be ordering, nope, there it goes, it's kicking on the water again. And that's why Fluidmaster has come up with some great products that are universal for just about every toilet. So their new super flapper allows you to fit basically any toilet out there between a 2 and a 3 inch opening. So you don't have to fuss around and find your exact model of flapper. This is going to be universal and work on most toilets out there. The other thing that I would recommend in replacing as well is the actual fill valve. This is another common problem that can end up causing some of this leaking. So if you're going out on a job site, have these two items on hand so that you can quickly repair the toilet. So let me show you how to change out this new super flapper on an old toilet. This is probably 70 years old, most likely. It's probably about a 1.6 gallon flush. Maybe it's a 3.5 gallon. I'm not really sure, honestly. All I know is it takes a lot of water. But the amount of water that I'm losing right now from it leaking is really terrible. We need to fix that. You need to conserve water. So first shut off the water, and then we'll flush the water out of the tank. Okay, so this is the old flapper. We're going to disconnect it off of our lever. Okay, there we go. So take a look at this. So you can see how this is like kind of getting eaten away. So this doesn't look too bad here, but you can see how it's all curled up. So most likely this is not making a good seal. So yeah, this is a big culprit from probably something like this. This tablet back here likes to eat this away. This isn't the worst I've seen, but it's not good either. So let's change out this flapper. Okay, so we want to get all the water out of here because we're going to be changing the fill valve as well. So let's just get all of this out of here. Okay, so we're going to change the fill valve too. It just doesn't make sense to get into removing all this water and not changing that out as well. So okay, so the new fill valve, this is very simple. The biggest thing here is that you just want to make sure that you basically extend this out. So this adjusts, so you can just twist this counterclockwise. And what you want to try to do is have the top of this 3 inches above your actual tube that comes up. So just keep spinning this. This is probably 12 inches, probably. But you really want to have this like about 3 inches or all the way up to the tank, top of the tank for the most part. So this is your fill tube. So we're about 3 inches to the top of this, to the top of that. That's what you're basically looking for. Now this already has a little rubber gasket on the back here. So that makes it seal right to the bottom of the tank. It just has a new threaded wing nut that you just basically thread onto the bottom of the toilet. Pretty simple stuff. So let's just go ahead and do that. But let's go ahead and put our tube on here too. So this little tube just pushes onto the valve itself here. Okay. And then we'll just keep this just like that. Okay, just hand tighten it.
What's that?
I'm gonna put a little bit of pipe dope on here just because this is like an old metal connector point. All right, so what's great about this super flapper is it's universal. So let me show you how to determine which size you have. So just open up the package. And so it has a couple guides on here. So this would be your 2-inch, this would be your 3-inch. So take your old flapper. If it covers the 2-inch like that, then it's a 2-inch flapper that you need to adjust this to. So this would be your 3-inch. Obviously that's not going to cover your 3-inch opening. A lot of new toilets are now becoming 3-inch, but a lot of older ones were that as well. But it's nice to have the choice to be able to change this the way you need to. So now that we know that it's 2-inch that we have to convert this to, essentially all you do is take all the blue off. So this big bulb comes off the bottom. We also take off the rubber gasket that's blue. So this is a blue gasket. That's for the 3-inch. We don't need that. And then we also take off our little connector point for our hinge for the flapper. So these just kind of pry off of here. So all 3 of these you just remove and discard. So now this guy is what you just connect to your existing pivot arm. There we go. So that just sits right on that old lever. And now you got a flapper that's sealing against that 2-inch opening. Now this is like an old school lever here, but you can just connect this right on here, but you're going to need to raise the chain. So that just like works like any other chain. Just going to take it off of here. So a lot of that opens it up. So you just want to make sure that when you have the chain on here, that you're able to fully open the valve or the flapper. That should work, because this will actually kind of, when you press this, you're opening it up, and then this opens it up. Now I wanted to show you one thing on this flapper. So what's cool about this is a really old toilet, and we can adjust the water flow. So what this does, when you twist it, so when you have it all the way to the single water droplet, that is the least amount of water. It's a water saver essentially. So this is going to save you the most water on that one. I would recommend this for any new toilet that you're replacing, just because most of the new ones have the least amount of water. Basically, you're getting down to like 1 gallon per minute on some of these new toilets. On this old toilet, I would honestly leave it all the way to the maximum amount. What this does is adjust the buoyancy. So when this is in the water, it's like taking on a little bit more water. And then basically it's essentially keeping this from staying open longer. So the more, when you want to have water saving, the hole becomes bigger and it basically closes the flap sooner. When you have it all the way closed, the flapper is completely buoyant and it's staying open when the water level is going down. So, you know, if you want to save water, what I recommend on an older toilet is to just center it, see how it flushes. If you can save a little bit of water, click it back one, see how it functions, make sure it's flushing. But if you're having problems flushing, just go 1 indicator each. And then again, if you just want the full amount of water that you can get out of the toilet, just make it all the way to the right, and that'll make this float the most buoyant. All right, so let's just go reinstall this. Very simple, and just snaps right onto the little pivot arms. And we'll just put the chain on this old lever, and there we go. So now we'll go ahead and turn the water back on, and we'll make sure that we get the right fill of the water with our new valve. Okay, make sure we fill it up. Okay, that's actually a pretty good level. It's 1/2 inch below. So if you wanted to adjust it to make it go higher, you just turn it counterclockwise and it'll raise the float. But we're basically right where we need to be. Nice. One added feature you can do, stop using these, because that's probably what made that flapper go bad in the first place. Use something like Flush and Sparkle. What's great about this is that this doesn't allow any of the water to actually get into the tank. It's just filling the actual bowl with the chlorinated water. So it's very simple. Flush and Sparkle. You literally just set this on the back of the toilet so that you can see this has a little ledge here. And this is your chlorine. You get about 3 months out of this. This just slides right in. So it just slides right into this. Now you can order additional cartridges and have them on order. Just use your little QR code and you can order replacements. But these will last about 3 to 4 months. This is a blue one. They do make them for basically septic tanks as well. So pay attention to what you're using. But this is a bleach container. So essentially we're just going to sit this right on the back of the toilet. So it just floats right there. And instead of using this guy, we're going to take this out in our little tube. We're going to connect it straight to the Flush and Sparkle. Well, now it'll just go straight into your fill valve. So now the water actually just goes straight into the tube rather than hitting in the back of the bowl. It doesn't go into the tank.
It just goes right to the bowl.
Yep. Okay, so now you're just getting bleach in the actual toilet itself and not in the back of the tank. So that's definitely going to preserve all the components in your toilet and you won't have to do this again. So thanks, Fluidmaster. You make this job really easy. Obviously every situation's different. This one was quite challenging with it being in the wall this way, but that's where it's nice to have those components so you can make everything leak free.